Okay, so I have about 6 pages here of some of the stuff as far as spiritual warfare, spiritually abusive stuff done towards me from Chelsea Smith. Okay, so I'm going to see about probably I might end up just going right out. Okay, this is what so and so pulled, that sort of stuff. So people on her that she's friends with, mention them on separately. I'll see about that, but yeah, I'll see about that. So far, 2 group attacks. She took part in towards me. What else we have here? Attacks when I was walking, when I was driving, in my bedroom, while I was sleeping. She attacked my one dog. Spiritual threats, trying to intimidate me with her and her boyfriend, trying to walk by my family's house. Did that before. Spiritual warfare at a job of mine that is working in the past couple of years, where I walked in and I was going to have to go up onto a roof and do photography, and I literally felt the warfare she was pulling, and there was actually a pastor who did a prayer for me. I actually saw him to go up against the warfare that she actually was pulling towards me at the time when I was supposed to be there to work. When I was driving at least 6 or more times, I had spiritual warfare from her involved in that towards me. Let's see what else. Gaslighting happened towards me because of her friend Jacqueline Mulek. Stuff. What would we have here? Against me. Oh, tried to use narc abuse against me that I've been through in the past. Wanted me to post about different narcissists that abused me in the past. Wanted to use that against me. When I went and cleared certain stuff, I felt the disappointment psychically in her because she wanted to be able to use one of the old narcs against me. Wanted me to mention her property and her kids psychically while she was trying to harm my family's property, and while she actually psychically attacked one of my dogs and tried to mess with one of the other dogs, trying to wake up family members and to fuck with sleep. So she could hide behind stuff with her kids and all that, while she actually did spells using her kids. Tried to get me to see her kids when I was out, and I picked up on it right away. She used spells to do it, and I was like, what the fuck? So used her kids to do that. Tried to mess with my dad's sleep, was part of that. So like tried to get my one dog barking, tried to like influence that to push that. And tried to push that. So I won't get into full detail, but my dad is almost 70 years old. The one friend, and I just heard it there, her one friend Heather, they actually tried to get me to hear a bell. So they tried to psychically use markers. They wanted, so if somebody would go by to do a bell, and they were trying to mention stuff about conditioning, like literally conditioning, about hearing a bell, that sort of thing. That was actually tied to a gym in Sherwood Park, Alberta, and it's called Chop Shop, where they actually have a picture of conditioning a dog and a bell. That's who they are, so that would be considered dehumanizing, being treated like that. So don't worry, I am going to get into about Heather, because Heather's married to a gay man, and Heather's from Boyle, Alberta, and Heather's an absolute piece of shit. She's a weak piece of shit, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows who she actually is. So she took part in that, so I remove any of that conditioning at all. I won't allow that to be done towards me at all. I've been doing miracles for years, and these are pathetic, weak piece of shit people, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows this is 6 fucking pages I can go on about. Tried to mess with my dad's sleep. That did happen multiple times. I had to go into, literally fell asleep, falling, like literally sitting upright. They tried to fuck with my dad's sleep. I actually did. I have literally walked in the past couple years where he had tried to commit suicide twice. He has Parkinson's, depression, and he was abused as a child. All this stuff came up the past couple years. They knew about some stuff, because I had to write an email to Moto about how Chelsea was acting, and they still tried to pull that towards my dad, and they tried to fuck with him at least 3 times with the sleep thing, and then at least, I don't know, maybe 3, probably more, 3, 4, who knows how many times, trying to get our other dog Sebastian to try to like get him barking, tried to fuck with sleep for people. Tried to do that, and attacked my yellow lab when he was still a puppy. She did do that. That's who she actually is. And then I felt it. She wanted me to like, there's that one side. Tried to hop into a dream of mine to fuck with me. The fake website thing I mentioned before, where they tried to make a fake website, and that was just bullying. Fake obituary they were tied to with an ex of mine that was abusive towards me. It was a narc. All this is markers, cut the cards. So that's on here. So wanted to use that against me, the fact that I got abused in the past. One used old abusive relationships against me. Yep. Sexual abuse, psychically stuff. Tried to throw imprints on me literally when I was masturbating. And her friends tried this. She tried to have friends connect to me sexually, including offering a blowjob. And she wanted to redirect it towards her. And then they tried to throw stuff at me that was abusive during that. Okay. So that was in there. Let's see what else. Oh, she tried to make it look like I was on top of her sexually, and I said out loud, I don't consent. I don't know how many times. She made it look like her legs were really wide and open and on top of her. She was also going to flash me, flash her tits psychically, and I said, like, don't. I don't want to see that. Like, don't. What else? Tried to sabotage when I met a girl. She's actually Soul Family. I was talking to her for a dating site, and in Alberta here, and she turned around. She tried to mess with the relationship. That director was Chelsea Smith. Tried to mess with it. Witchcraft at me. Let's see. 4 people involved in my car. No, 3 people were. Oh, wait a minute. Trying to redirect harm. Oh, tried to redirect harm at me while sleeping. There was actually a spiritual teacher of the States that picked up on me. That stuff tried to dump on me while I slept. That was connected to Chelsea and her friends there. Brandon Jacobs was directly involved in that. Even as I'm saying this, I can feel they want me to mention some of their names in there. Why? What I've noticed is what they try to do is they try to enable it like crazy, so that they try to, what's the word for it? Enable is part of it, so it doesn't all go on her. No, there's a better way to do it. The consequences, so she doesn't have the consequences, but she still has them. It's just like, oh, well, just, no, it's not as bad. You're naming her in that, but get us to name us in there too. That is exactly who that group is. They're fucking weak people. As far as people involved, there was over 4 people involved. She had trying to pull shit towards me, and then even connected some people of Salt Spring Island. Including witchcraft, all that sort of stuff. Let's see what else we got. So parent sleep. Tried to put a hold on me during a group attack. While I had a group attack. And, was trying to hold harm on me. Was trying to hold the attack on me. Threats in the shower. I went in the shower and she was there. She tried to threaten me with her friend, like with friends, like I was going to be attacked. Tried to do that. Threats while attacks while driving. I already said the thing about where I multiple times said I didn't consent to stuff sexually, but she tried to connect to my back sexy and tried to be in my bedroom. Oh yeah, okay. Shh. It did not want me to fall out. Yeah, she didn't want me to list off everything she'd done, and I can feel that psychically. She didn't want me to list it off and name it for what it is. Karmic sloughing was one of the things that another shaman mentioned to me about her in that group, that they do not want to have to deal with the cause and effect. So the karma of it coming back, they didn't want to deal with consequences. So they were trying to like get away with stuff. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, they tried to mess around with, they didn't want the owner Moto to see the email that I wrote, because the person who responded with the email, and this was directly at Moto in Sherwood Park, Alberta, describing how she acted towards me when I was there, because the person who responded was not the owner and was not the person they said they were. It was actually Jack the Mulek, her friend, who lied on her behalf and went into gaslighting, all sorts of shit during the email, just making things up, and I'm like, just saying stuff. I was like, what the fuck? Let's see what else. Oh, she, to get her, I don't know if I should say this, but I'll just say I know exactly what she pulled with her boyfriend to try to get him to walk by and try to use intimidation, and what she did to get him I can get into detail about that, but there was other stuff I'm going to say there. So markers, projections, imprints, holds, merging attacks, bullying, threats, psychically trying to get me to see the word leave and trying to fuck with me. Let's see. Writing. Oh, the light posts, I already said. Writing on them, including the word hell, and a couple other ones. There's at least 1, 2, 3 different areas she wrote stuff on poles or signs to mess with me outside. I already said the thing about Moto. Tried to get me to leave Moto Yoga in Sherwood Park, Alberta, when I was going there to clear trauma. And that was her and her friend Jack the Milk just started pulling shit for no reason. $2,000 worth of damage to my old Nissan Altima. 3 people involved. Put dents in the vehicle because of her. Tried to watch me in the tub. She called a Medusa. And tried to watch me. She went right into darkness and looked like she had a Medusa, like the snakes and everything. It was just trying to watch me. And looked like she was just fucking, like, just right out in darkness. Let's see. They offered a blowjob from a friend. Yeah, and tried to redirect her to her. Psychically, yep. Lied about me to a neighbor with her friend Jackie Miller to try to have her there to help lie, to say stuff about me. That was great. Yeah. So I spoke to the Karmic board, and Injustice was coming up there, and I was like, I felt it. So Jack Miller hopped in on her behalf and was she's willing to lie for her and make shit up, to confirm stuff there. And I'm like, that's, yeah. Tried to do conditioning towards me. I mentioned the dog thing. They also tried other stuff. Tried to make psychic suggestions of like where it was actually trying to full on like condition and throw stuff at me. Warfare at my family, at this house, at my family's property, sleep stuff. Right, okay, there's some there. What else? Did I get all this on there? Oh, wait, there we go. Oh, what do we got here? Harassment. So spiritual harassment when I went to... They wanted me to use the word harassment, which I found interesting. When I went to a blood clinic, I was supposed to get my ferritin checked. I woke up, and their one friend, there was even a psychic suggestion of like, oh, you should get your blood work done. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, what are they pulling? I literally went to, and I could feel it. I'm driving along, and I look in the parking lot. There she is with her vehicle. So it would have been, I would go in, and she would have pulled shit towards me after she already had done group attacks and all this other stuff and tried to literally taunt me at a blood clinic to fuck with me. So what is that? Get me to turn around and fucking just rip right into her, whatever, and then make me look bad after they've pulled, this is at least 6 pages of shit just from her. And then I could name each individual friend of hers and rip into it and get right into every single thing they pulled. Okay? Who they actually are. They're fucking weak pieces of shit. They wanted me to call... Oh, wait a minute. So harassment. Also, when I went out in Sherwood Park, shopping, out in Sherwood Park, going on walks. When I had a family visit me. And my brother come out here. The first 2 days that they were here, there was a ton of spiritual warfare at me from her and her friends. Ton of like 2 days of just a ton of spiritual warfare at me while my family and their kids came out for me to visit from another province. They did that. Stop sign. I ended up hitting a stop sign and breaking it with my vehicle at the time in a parking lot because there was so much spiritual warfare from her and her friends trying to fuck with me while driving. Let's see. So bullying while driving. Wanted me to call them losers. What was another one? Was it about, what was that one? Losers? What was the other one? Oh, a slur about her friend being gay, calling him a fag or along that sort of line, to try to use that at me to make it look like I was being a bully when they had a group together pulling this. While trying to, my family and friends, okay. Slur about her friends. Okay. To mention her friends. Wanted me to mention her friends' businesses too. To make it look like, or their property or their kids. So while they were trying to fuck with my family's property, dogs, all that sort of stuff, wanted me to mention stuff about maybe their kids or their businesses, and somehow have it that they could run off and maybe tell other people or get other people, look, he's going to try and do this or this, that sort of thing. Yeah, so she could hide behind them. So she hides behind her boyfriend, then she hides behind her kids, then she hides behind her other friends, and I've even seen her use her kids where she literally did that with spells. She tried to taunt me after a group attacking me, and her kid's right there on a bike. Yeah. There's more than once, at least 3 times, involved her own kids to use that. That's who she actually is. Yeah, she's an absolute piece of shit. So taunting me after group attacks, family, with her daughter. What else? The conditioning thing. Tried to do manipulation towards me of heart sacral spells. Tried to do spells about doppelgangers. They were friends. So tried to get me to see stuff of people that reminded me of her or friends of hers. So they looked like doppelgangers. Spells. And then you'd be like, what the hell? So I turn around and I'm like, it looks like her, but somebody who's a lot younger, or oh yeah, and then tried to find, oh yeah, so that was in there. What else? Revision they were using. I only taught revision to one person, and it's a friend of hers, and then they started abusing that, abusing intention, all this sort of stuff. This is, yeah, that is literally 6 pages so far off of one person, and I could have done more. That's who she actually is. So if people are like, why would he said like this or that about her, I just listed off 6 pages of abusive shit she pulled towards me. Yeah. And that was $2,000 worth of damage to an old vehicle. Family members that had attacks at them. Dogs that attacked them. Tried to fuck with parents' sleep. All different stuff like that. Waking up to having stuff try to hurt you. And that her and her friends pulled up. Yeah, imagine that you go to sleep, tried to fuck with you when you slept. Yeah, and she tried to enter a dream of mine and tried to fuck with me. Tried to like be there near me when I woke up and pissed me off. They tried to see what other people pulled towards me, like, oh, well, and I'm hearing like, oh, maybe we do this. What would that do to them? What would it do to them? I was at the fucking gym, and her and her friends were trying to be around me, and they were trying to see if they could try to fuck with me when I was at the gym. Yeah, oh yeah, like literally tried to like scare me, psychically, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I literally said how fast I was driving. When I was explaining out loud, I said, I'm driving right now. You guys are this, and this. I was like, there's times I was driving 80 kilometers an hour driving to the gym. There's times I was driving 50. That was the first time. Tried to push up my solar plex, tried to project my fucking face. And then even this, I feel like I'm going to post this, and that weak piece of shit, she's going to run off to her boyfriend. She gave him a blowjob, okay? She gave him a fucking blowjob so that he would be on her side. Do I throw this in? The only reason, so Spencer, if you ever hear this, the only reason she had you go on those family bike rides is you gained 20 fucking pounds. She didn't want to sleep with you anymore. And that's why there was family bike rides. So Spencer would drop 20 pounds so she'd want to sleep with him again. Then she goes and she's off there giving him a blowjob to get him on her side so he would walk by and try to intimidate towards me. When I was on the other side of the fence helping someone spiritually and they were moving up, and I look over and the two of them had tweaked their energy and they're walking by. I'm like, what the fuck? She was looking fucking crazy, the shit she was pulling. You'd see her out there walking by acting nuts. And I was like, oh, great. She's gone right into darkness. Great. Look at the dark witchcraft around her. Oh, great. It's around her vehicle. Oh, look, I can see it down her fucking street. Just these, you could see all this thick, heavy. I was like, oh, great. That's just awesome. Oh, yeah. So that's who they are. That's some of it there. If I want to go into it about her friends, I can, but that will explain more, and I'm going to make sure people know this. So Universe Source, anyone she knows involved in this, she's talked to about all this, I want them to know what she's done and what she was doing towards me. Thanks.